Greetings, honorable members. Stanvik, yeah.
Greetings, sir.
Yes, we're just waiting for Chairperson. He says he's going to connect now. We also don't have a quorum yet. Let's just give
Okay.
them a couple of minutes. Thank you, honorable members.
No problem, my leader. Just also want to bring it under your attention that I'm traveling. That's why I can't go on video. But I'm sure you can hear my voice. It's me. Thank you.
You are very audible.
Please register my name, the S24 Samsung, and so that I'm able to be identified.
It's noted, Nyambos.
Okay, ba.
Morning, Lwazi.
Good mornings, Honorable Maseko.
Morning. How are you?
I'm good. Are you also good, Mendalani?
Mendalan is proper.
Good morning, Lwazi.
Good morning, Honorable Adams. How are you?
It's Honorable Isaac speaking. Why am I last again today on your list?
Okay, sorry. Maybe it's the Northern
Can't you
Cape.
decide what makes sense? That's why I'm not in the attend register, because you have decided I'm Lucas and I signed Isaac's mass. Please correct it.
No, apologies.
Now it's fine. I just wanted to put that correct. Okay,
It
thanks,
will
my
never
friend.
happen again.
Well, I don't say never, never say never. Don't just correct it. Never say never, because I know never.
In the
I
name
will,
of
but
Jesus
I will
Christ, I say never.
Yo!
Oh,
I don't know what.
Honorable Isaac,
Honorable.
I also want to request you,
Can you
please
hear me?
change your
Can you hear
name
me?
as well.
Good morning,
Morning,
honorable
Chair.
members.
Good morning,
Good
Chairperson.
morning.
Good morning, Chairperson.
Morning, Chair.
Good morning, honorable
Morning,
members.
Chair.
My apologies for linking up a little later. We were actually traveling on the road, and we've just actually arrived here at our meeting place. Honorable members, I hope we do have a quorum now.
Good morning, Chairperson. We do have a quorum, Chair. We correct.
Okay, thank you. Well, may I please welcome all honorable members and our support team to this our meeting, and I hope that we are not going to be long on, because we are also having a session today here as ad hoc committee. Our agenda has only got 2 items. In the main, it's the report, consideration and adoption of our oversight visit report to the Northern Cape, and the adoption of the minutes of our previous meetings. Are there any apologies, Mr. Ben?
Good morning, Chairperson. My office only received one apology from Honorable Madlala, who has bereavement in the family. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Okay. Can we actually then adopt our agenda? As I have said, actually, that we have only 2 main items on our agenda. That is the consideration and adoption of our oversight report, which I think was actually, circulated to honorable members in good time for members to actually have a look at that, and also the set of minutes that we need to adopt. Is there any proposal for the adoption of the agenda?
Yes, Chair. Good morning, Chair, and good morning to all the members on the platform. I move for the adoption of the agenda as it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Is
Second, seconded.
Honorable Adams? Yes. Thank you.
Seconded.
Oh, thank you. Can we then have a presentation of our report, our draft report, on our oversight? How are we going to handle that one? Is the report will be flighted? Are we going to go through it seriatim, or what do members suggest we do? I would suggest that we go through it page by page, but somebody actually must talk to it. Members will actually propose amendments if there are any, if we go through page by sections for that matter.
Chairperson,
Yes, Honorable Member.
thank you for the opportunity.
Recording in
As
progress.
the draft report, I will suggest that we go page by page, presented by Dr. Manenze. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Manenza, can you actually then lead us in the presentation of our report?
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. I'm not too sure, Lwazi, will you flight it? Or because I don't have sharing rights.
Nzwaki, can you give Dr. Manenze hosting rights? Thank you.
Is it going to be flighted?
Yes, Chair. Apologies. I'm just waiting for them to give me a rights to share. I think now it's... Is it visible?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So as members agreed, we are not going to read word for word. Page 1 is so I suggest that I'm just gonna run through all these pages and maybe focus very much on the recommendations.
On the
just
recommendation, yeah.
to save on time. So page 1 is the usual introduction and membership of the members of the legislature. We are now on page 3, where we indicate what is it that we did, and we also indicate the program that the committee followed, and we jump straight to talk about the engagements with the CPAs and in many ways, in case there's the sites we visited. That's page 4. That's page 5. It continues. Then the next one is extend scale, KAPAN. Then you have all those issues, KAPAN, KOHAS, JC, Klute, CPAs. They are concerned aggrieved members. So it's really a highlight of the discussion that the committee had. Then there's the Koris, the CPA and the LDS. And there we go. I think this one was this Amupedi. Okay. So you will see that now, although we did not do site visit, but the committee received a lot of inputs from different CPAs at our meeting. So we do summarize the input by those CPAs. I do realize that maybe some of them may not have a lot of detail or maybe may not appear, but in terms of the recommendations, the issues will be covered. We are now on page 16. I'm just gonna go. What was this? Fontaine, yeah. Then you have Benil there. There was a lot of detail presented around this. I think one notable thing members would remember the fight for restitution between restitution and beneficiaries and the farm dwellers in terms of Esther. So it's a whole lot of the information presented. The section 4 that is on page 20 of the report, we now bring everything under in terms of oversight and what the sort of the conclusions, what that meant for the committee. And maybe by way of summary, what the committee found is that the issues are really cross-cutting. And if you look across the issues that members found or observed, you'll find that there are structural failures in the CPAs themselves, not only CPAs, but even if you look at penal matter, between restitution and Esther, it's a structural issue that was not resolved by the department in the processing of the land claim, but it manifests later after claims have been restored. Governance collapse, fragmentation of the departmental fragment of the department, not only from within, but across. So for instance, you find land reform is doing something, agriculture is doing something. There is no connection or clear sign of interface. Weak financial oversight, incomplete restitution implementation, economic performance post-transfer, and mainly because of lack of adequate post-settlement support. And in general, what this report shows is that the risk now it's no longer an isolated CPA dysfunction. Normally, even from committee or department in their report, they would show the reason why things are not happening is because the CPA is dysfunctional. But this oversight shows us that it's no longer an isolated issue. What it does is, as you can see, there's a breakdown of public trust in the process itself. So, for instance, members, when you hear members of the public saying this department is biased, it means these issues not being resolved. It results in public trust. When you hear members of the public, like a group of those gentlemen who appeared before the committee, saying, well, this we applied and this process, midway it was changed, the specs was changed after we've applied because they have their own. And it shows a lack of public trust in terms of land allocation and potential benefit. It calls for immediate intervention, which may include then, there are proposals from what members were saying, CPA governance audit, you can't continue giving new funding to non-compliant CPAs. We understand that they must be supported. But a CPA that is now controlled by an individual, there's no justification why government should continue pumping without resolving the issues. Some CPAs, they need forensic audit. They also need for investigation, even on the equity scheme, where members of the scheme were meant to sign documents that basically kicks them out of the scheme. In some cases, for instance, such as Spinel, there's a need for independent mediation. As members have already said, throughout, the absence of the CPA office is worrying. There needs to be enhancement of that CPA. So in a way, I'm just summarizing the observations that the committee has made, and everything written there is an elaboration of what we raised above. So this is the recommendations. This is where I'm going to read word for word so that members will be able to engage with this. In view of the observations arising from the interactions between the delegation and officials of the Department of Land Reform and Rural Development, Provincial Shared Services Center, and further having visited projects and interacted with beneficiaries, And considering the conclusions of this report, what I've just highlighted above, the committee recommends that the Minister of Land Reform and Rural Development should one, ensure that the department is adequately capacitated, maybe I should add that, by employing officials to attend to CPAs as well as setting up provincial stabilization task team. I don't know what members will call it, but what the findings show is that there is a need of building up capacity at that level, and maybe as a way of an intervention, there is a need for a dedicated team for a particular period of time to deal with CPAs and stabilize. Members, when you were in the Northern Cape, you will remember it was always about, I can't remember his name, Itumeleng, everywhere, like one man carrying the heavy weight of the work around the entire province. That's not sustainable. So this suggestion here, proposal here, is that that team with a specific mandate should have legal, audit, and governance expertise to develop locally based intervention plan. And then they can work with the CPA office. Whilst the challenges are kind of related, but there is a need to look at a local dynamics and deal with issues related to that particular area, informed by the reality on the ground. Identify as high-risk CPAs where applicable, consider instituting Section 13 administration. So here the proposal is that minister have this team, but with the audit that has been proposed about for the Northern Cape, consider really mapping out CPAs and categorizing them. Say these are high risk, so we know this stabilization team can actually know what is it that needs to be done. And that work will include identifying which are the CPAs that needs forensic audit, verified membership register, and those that need an independent election process, and monitor bank accounts of signatory correction, because these issues came up quite a bit from CPAs. Ensure that the Office of the Registrar of CPAs, what they call it, CPA office, introduces a formal escalation protocol between national and provincial offices to avoid unnecessary back and forth referrals. Maybe if I can stop here, this already is affecting this committee. The chairperson's office currently and the secretary of the committee, there's a whole lot of people now. They no longer have trust in the provinces and the national department. They're coming directly to Parliament. It shouldn't be like that. The committee cannot be making interventions on a day-to-day running of this. The committee should do oversight and laws, but it seems like members of the public now want the committee to be resolving these issues. So there has to be some kind of mechanism that allows members of the public or communities of beneficiaries to have confidence in what's happening in the province, to avoid this back and forth, not only from that, but including Parliament. And at the same time, once the risk with all this is that when they refer matters to us, we have to refer back to the department. And when nothing happens, this committee, I'm afraid it might end up being lumped with government departments that are not doing their work. So that it's one issue that we thought is important. Further, the national department, given its increased capacity recommended above, should monitor CPAs by requiring written accountability for every registered CPA. And somebody might say, well, they're already doing it, but the recommendation here, as it came up during the oversight, is that should transcend. It should go beyond the narrow submission of financial statements. In addition, there's a need for a single point restitution CPA establishment coordination to prevent jurisdictional confusion. Who does what? We see a lot in the CPAs. For instance, when it comes, I'm just giving an example, when it comes to issues of verification, the department which is supposed to help CPAs says, no, we are not responsible it was the commission that did verification, and then the commission must resolve those issues. The third recommendation, Minister must institutionalize CPA membership verification through the registrar of CPAs. So that that's what the law requires, but it appears that work's still being done by the commission. That office must take over that role regarding verification. Further develop mechanism to digitize membership. Now, maybe this is an operational issue, but it arises from the fact that there are many challenges regarding membership lists that are being altered, and we had this a lot in the Northern Cape. Members who are meant to be in the list, they're not. So the proposal is that Minister should consider digitization of membership with limited rights to amend the list so that all changes to membership lists are authorized by the registrar who holds the amending rights for these digital lists. It shouldn't be some list that anyone an official in the department, maybe I'm casting aspersions here, but then if an official knows a particular issue, can't just go in and sneak in certain members and remove other people. Furthermore, ensure that the constitutions include structured process for verifying membership, not ad hoc changes by executives when it suits them. So further prohibit executive committees from unilateral membership amendments. All verifications would require independent observers. And I think the legislation provides for the departmental involvement. While land reform should include multiple land uses for economic stability, the minister should consider introducing a post-settlement farmer development and commercialization framework. Now, maybe might be controversial, and I would want to hear members' thoughts about this. We know that agriculture is a mandate that doesn't belong to this department. But the reality on the ground is that this department continues to fund land reform, allocation of land, and post-settlement in terms of planning and support. Now, this arises, it's not here, but this arises from an observation by members where a neighboring CPA, I think it's the Careers, LDS, and the CPA, wasn't getting any support. Well, in terms of funding, it was very limited. But the neighboring LDS farmer got something like 12 million plus. And members were asking, but how is this? So a post-settlement farmer development commercialization framework is what we are proposing to deal with those kind of issues. To avoid duplication, this should be coordinated with Department of Agriculture and to ensure, agricultural extension mentorship, that performance of farm enterprises are on par with the state investment and grants, and that market facilitation is in place. And the minister should also use extent scale as a benchmark for scalable support design. I mean, members, we thought members were impressed by what's happening at extent scale, and that could be a model to look at, including how CPAs operate in that particular area. Consider institutionalizing mandatory submission of annual asset registers for all CPAs and linking future funding to governance compliance certification. Further establish provincial monitoring dashboards of funded projects. Develop a standardized CPA lease template framework and require plain language summaries in all leases. Furthermore, mandate beneficiary approval thresholds and require vetting prior to execution. I think that's clear. Where necessary, conflicts, tensions around restitution and ESTA rights require services of special restitution mediator with a full mandate. Rather than consolidating land claims that is taking ESTA people, farm dwellers, and restitution, merging that claim. Instead of merging land claims, there is a need to clarify beneficiary recognition and their independent rights. And I think here the point which is made in the report is that ESTA rights within the restitution, they are not secondary right. They have enjoy strong legislated rights. Further, there is a need to integrate the ESTA and restitution frameworks operationally, particularly in the cases where land claims are involved. So in this case, when you institutionalize it, you make sure that the commission and that tenure reform branch should not operate in silos where land claims involve farm dwellers. In this case, I just thought about this and said, well, this was not only isolated in the Northern Cape. You do find a lot of cases like this in KwaZulu, Natal as well, and also Mpumalanga. Ministers should consider institutionalizing a full audit of CPAs, segmenting them, like categorizing them into categories of commercial scale, potential project subsistence, and high-risk governance cases. Furthermore, allocate differentiated support models to avoid uniform one-size-fits-all funding approaches. Using the IMC, the Interministerial Committee on Land Reform in Agriculture, establish interdepartmental coordination on water licensing, mineral rights, renewable energy approvals, further protect community rights before external allocation, conduct proactive rights audit on all CPA. I think this one, it deals with that matter where members were complaining about DMR, the Mineral Resources Department, deals with mineral issues, but the owners of the land, CPA, is not actually being involved. Like mining, it's more important that the surface rights that members of the CPAs have. So members, is a summary of their recommendations that arises from the engagements that members had, and yeah, we will take comments. So in the previous report, there was a proposal that we should look at specific cases, which for Limpopo, members said we must go and develop the action points for intervention in particular cases, something that we have not done that year. We will take advice on whether members think it is necessary to do so. The reason being that most of these were in CPAs, and the recommendations that we put here in terms of elections and bank statements, we think it covers all of them. But we were going to take advice from members. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Manense, for such a lucid presentation of our draft report, in particular the recommendations. I will open the floor for honorable members to make comments and engage the report. I would invite our focus in particular to be placed on the recommendations for us to be able to fine-tune them. And it's a pity that we are having a meeting in this format. Otherwise, sometimes it helps to cross-reference our recommendations with our previous reports, in particular reports that actually that were compiled after our oversight visits in other areas such as KwaZulu-Natal and Limpopo, so that we cross-reference our recommendations, so that on an issue that is cutting across all provinces, then we ensure that there is actually consistency and synergy of our recommendations, so that we do not recommend something different for a challenge that is actually common to all other provinces. I'm not sure whether I'm making myself clear. I will
My hand is up,
recognize.
Chair.
Yes,
Mteto.
Honorable Mteto, I can recognize your hand.
Should I
Yes.
go in?
Yeah. Yes, Nyambose. You
Okay.
have the floor.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Chair, and greetings to honorable members and greetings to our officials. I will exactly do that in terms of the recommendations, but also observations. So I'm gonna take an observation and then give a recommendation. One, I would like to state that on the 4th of July 2024, in my first submission in this portfolio committee, I made reference of Northern Cape having a lot of minerals and being rich, but you find the kings like Toto, Holele, having not been granted their land back. Now, I'm observing a narrative or an approach whereby when we talk about CPAs, they are narrowed into agricultural related sectors mostly. Yet the demographic of the province we are coming from, Northern Cape, is full of minerals, is full of mining houses. I even visited there in January to see for myself how Anglo-America is thriving in that area. So I was expecting that as part of our land restitution program or land reform program to these CPAs, I was going to be seeing CPAs that have challenged claims where mines are operating on their land because they were removed from their land and mining is taking place. So when we do restitution, we should be doing restitution to give back those people the same land where they were moved from. It doesn't matter whether it's mineral mines that are now operating there. We should be helping those people to get their land back, which will enable them to participate in that mining activity because it is an opportunity for them to be part of the economy of their area. So we don't see that as an observation here. So I'm recommending to say that can we go and look at the mining related CPAs that claimed their land and they want to be taken back? Because you'll find a lot of those. I had an opportunity to meet Amakosi from the Koranas in the Northern Cape, and they cited this reason to say our land is full of minerals, but that is not being talked about when you talk about land reform. So that's one issue. Two, the issue of CBAs, I want to put it on record. There is no history from 1994 when we did land claims wherein you find CPAs having large claims, but we find Amakosi having large claims. But fast forward into 2024, we are having a new piece of legislation, CPA Act, which is taking the applications of Amakosi and giving them to the CPAs. Now there is an era of legality that is involved here. You can't give a land to someone who didn't claim it. So how do you justify taking a land that was applied for by Ubukosi and you give it to a CPA that was created yesterday, and then you reconcile and say land has been given back to the community, but the community in question, technically speaking, it was Ubukosi, which is an institution that is recognized by chapter 12 of the constitution. But I don't see CPA being in the same equivalence as local government and the institution of traditional leadership in the constitution. So which means we're creating a third tier of ownership at the local sphere, which creates a crisis. At the local government level, you don't have CPA being part of local government, but you have Amakosi which are being recommended that they should be part of local government. And we are creating a crisis by introducing this piece of legislation because it's introducing an error in terms of the institutionalization, which is a problem that we must investigate. But also, the queue that I'm also observing here, we are following. The reason why we are introducing CPA Act is because we are taking the cue from the private sector who are dictating terms in terms of how land should be brought back to the people. It must be in the same line as private sector, because at the end of the day, all of these CPAs, all their land, they have a back-to-back agreement with the same strategic partners who end up taking over the same land from the CPAs because they are failing. And the failure of CPAs is because it's not natural. In the history of dispossession of land, it was not packaged by CPAs, but it was packaged by Ubukosi, but the institution is destroyed and it is dispossessed again in the modern day democracy. Their right to restore that land. So we are not restoring, instead we are reforming into something as new than that which used to be. And it's an issue that we need to investigate. For me, that we must address, to say, which direction are we taking here? Are we going towards the direction of the private sector, or are we going to the direction of the old institutions that used to be there? If we can sort that out, then we will be good. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Nyambos. I so wish that we could actually focus on the recommendations that actually have been tabled, before us. And I would actually like to assist the focus of the meeting by asking on Dr. Manenze to flight the recommendations. We will go through the recommendations seriatim one by one, and hear if the members would like to actually amend or improve on what actually is being presented. Otherwise, if we don't do that, we find ourselves, discussing out of 10 with the real issues that we need to be focusing on. Yes, is that Honorable Nana?
Correct, sir.
Chairperson,
Okay.
my hand was up. My hand was up just immediately when it was started.
Okay,
Thank
Honorable
you.
Adams. My gadget does not
It's up.
show hand here. I was hoping that Loazi would actually assist me.
No, I immediately started to indicate after.
Okay, Honorable Nana,
Nana.
would you mind us allowing Honorable Adams first, and then and you after here?
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay, thank you.
Tata. It's Honorable Isaac's chairperson. I was the one that raised my hand. Now, I don't know whether this one that I will raise first is part of the recommendations. But I think, I heard throughout it has been touched by Dr. Manenze. And that is the fact that consistently, the issue of human resource and the capacitation of the office in the Northern Cape is a serious crisis. It's a crisis. And that is the reason why you continues to heard about Itumeleng. And it's really not sustainable. I want to agree with what Dr. Manenje was saying. And I think we need to get the minister to begin to attend to this issue. Because this office is handled as a national office in the province. So it became very difficult for, even when I was in the province, for us to make an input to ensure that the capacity of the office, so that it can deal with a vast area like the Northern Cape. Secondly, although the issue that was raised by Honorable Mtetwa just now, we only visited at least 3 of the districts in the Northern Cape. We've got the biggest land claim on mineral rich land in Amakwa, that is the Richtersveld one. And that one is considerably complicated. I'm just mentioning it for the benefit of what speaker. I should say, after our visit, I was following social media and the local media, and the people of Richtersveld was actually pleading why the portfolio committee didn't reach them. And because that is a different set of challenges in terms of the fact that they are in diamond rich area, and they also have some alluvial diamonds that is from the ocean and from the Orange River. And that is where I just want to mention the issue of that. But Chairperson, if you remember, right from the start, we spoke about the issue of post-settlement support. That is a serious challenge. And I remember that at one stage we requested the department to work on a model that is possibly the one that will be, we know there won't be a one-size-fits-all model, but work on a model of post-settlement support that will also include issues of economic development, or even if it's agriculture, but agricultural economics. Because that is, that is the issue, that people are on this land and they are rich in terms of having the primary resource, which is the land, but they are not necessarily able to benefit from that land in a way that will ensure that people are taken out of poverty so that they can be able to be self-sufficient, self-sustainable. And that is the kind of issues that I think we need to make sure that we insist on possible examples of post-settlement support that will make sure that we address the issues of these people. And then, Chairperson, the issue of what is the Badiramogo. I think the issue of Badiramogo is exactly happening because of the lack of support from the side of the department, because we have got brilliant ideas. But I'm telling you now, as we are speaking, this issue of land restitution is fast becoming, particularly the governance thereof, is fast becoming a farce. And we will have to really stand on the department, because the people like Dr. Manenze have already said are disillusioned. Now they are turning to the committee. The committee can only once again refer them. And that means very soon we will be one of the institutions that people will become disillusioned with, and where they will become to speak very ill of us for exactly the fact that they have lost confidence in the department. But we are not in a position to be able to assist them safe through our oversight and to making sure we keep the department accountable. And I think we will have to strengthen our oversight and accountability measures. Thank you very much, Chair.
Well, thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Nana.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and good morning to colleagues. Firstly, Chair, without really out of respect, I did not want to interrupt the first speaker, Unyambos, but I thought in Parliament there is a general protocol, unspoken protocol, and this is by no means trying to stifle members from contributing. For instance, Chair, if I was not in a meeting, I cannot be expected to participate in the adoption of those minutes because, quite frankly, I wasn't there. And I suppose it goes again with reports of oversights. I do know that members do read these reports, but as I say, there's an unspoken protocol in Parliament that at least members that were in the oversight be the ones to lead the debate. For instance, I was not in Limpopo and I did not even partake in the discussion because I wouldn't really know what transpired there besides what I read in the report. The second issue, Chairman, that I would want to raise is with regards to the recommendations. I think the majority of us in the committee are in agreement that this CPA concept isn't working. By and large, it's not working. And a couple of proposals as alternatives have already been brandished around. And there is what I deemed as a success story in our oversight in Northern Cape. But I just forget the name of that area, Dr. Manenza. The guys who were trying raisins.
Extends gain.
Extends gain, yeah. I did see it in your report, but I somewhat do not think that it's been sufficiently amplified. As an example, or as an alternative model to the CPAs, I think, Doc, if we can find a way to even amplify it more. I mean, in your report, it's pretty much about a paragraph or so, if I'm not mistaken, and yet I do not think the success of that operation deserves 2 lines or a paragraph. If we are to look at other alternatives other than the CPAs. Thank you very much, Sean.
Well, thank you, Honorable Nana. I take it that your proposal is that is actually pleading for a much more elucidation around that project as one of the success stories, and also an alternative to the CPA as we know them, which actually could also be a model that is given consideration. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, no, thank you. Is there any other, contribution, honorable members?
Yes, Chairperson, my hand is up there.
Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, I'm actually covered by Honorable Isaac in saying that the province is a very vast province, and we can't expect from the committee to do an oversight in all 5 regions only basically in 4 days. So that one is quite understandable why the whole province was not covered in terms of CPAs. So it is understandable, Chairperson. However, I would just like to raise an issue and just reiterate that the CPAs from Namakwaland, we really have to see how soonest can we schedule another oversight so we can go and cover those CPAs as well, Chairperson. There's a lot of problems facing that CPAs in Namakwa land, especially the Richtersveld. And also, it is a fact that the point that Honorable Mteto have raised, one point of everything that they have said, is that when land restitution are being done or land reform, the fact of the matter is it is the traditional leaders that actually apply for the land, and then the title deed is in the possession of the CPAs, and we just need to find the common ground on how does the actual
Chairperson.
landowners.
Yes. Sorry, honorable member.
Sorry, Chairperson and Honorable Van Wyk. I think we are busy losing our focus on our agenda on the oversight of the Northern Cape. My plea is that we stick to the agenda. I propose adoption as it is, So with respect to all those who have already speak, and also Honorable Van Wyk, who is on the floor now, that we concentrate on what is on the agenda. To talk about our CPAs, we can put it in a basket, and then we can call another meeting and talk about all the CPAs all over our country. Thank you, Chair. Because we are really push against time also. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Adams. I also indicated that I have a very tight time constraint that I'm having right now. That is why I was actually inviting our forecast to be on the recommendation specifically as presented by Dr. Manenze. Any other policy matters that we are now raising can actually find expression in other deliberations of our own committee. There is no harm in actually scheduling a meeting and actually including those issues in our agenda. For instance, we have mooted an idea of having a CPA indaba, for instance, which would be an appropriate forum where such alternative, ideas could actually be widely canvassed and engaged. So I was honored, with due respect to the honorable member on the floor, invite our focus to fall on the recommendation as presented. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Chairperson.
Honorable Van Wyk, can you wind up?
Okay, Chairperson. I agree with the honorable member. And I second that we should adopt the minutes as with recommendations included. I just thought that I wanted to raise this point, but since you were saying, Chairperson, and the Honorable Adams are proposing that we should make a time in another meeting to discuss these issues, then I would concur, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, honorable member, for your understanding. Yes, there is now a proposal for the adoption of our report. Is there any seconder?
Chairperson, I was almost second. Thank you.
Yes, there is a seconder for our our report. Okay, our report then has actually been adopted, and it will then go through the process. Yeah.
Chair?
Yes.
Chair, I just want to make sure that Dr. Manenza has captured the amendments, particularly as they relate to my proposal.
To your proposal, yes. I hope he has Dr. Manenze.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, yes. So I did not put a clear formulation here, but the point you are raising, as I understand it, is that we must amplify a little more about the case of Extend Scale as a success story. And if you go into the report, I think we do have a full section on this case. But the addition to the recommendation, as we work on the post-settlement model, what we called a post-settlement farmer development and commercialization framework, and Honorable Isaac says model, we cite this a case of Extend Scale because it's, for the committee, thought it is a success story. Over and above that, we must introduce another recommendation that looks at the land ownership or land holding model, a CPA of Extend Scale, and present it as an alternative because there you have a group owning land. But there are these squabbles, they don't exist because there are clear rights in terms of who owns. Everybody does something in their own group and they go and meet at the market, maybe as a form of a cooperative. So that's how I understood it, but I'm gonna formulate it better than I'm explaining. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
And sorry, Chair, while we are at this,
Okay.
and I think members were right in terms of what Honorable Mtetwa was raising. We captured it as it emanated from the meeting. The issue of mineral and water rights, they came quite strongly, and we do cite an example of Droogfontein. It came. That's why there's an observation there. That's why there's a recommendation on mineral rights there. And yeah, so that's the point. And the point around traditional leaders and CPAs, I think this point comes, the Honorable Mtetwa will raise it in every report that we produce. But the issue is it's beyond the oversight. It's a so this parliament, this committee for now has this law. So nobody is going to go out and say CPAs can't own land until Parliament changes that legislation. And I think, as we continue to raise it, we will raise it, but there's nothing we can do because it's the law. Until that law is changed, CPAs will continue to own land. Thank you.
Yeah.
Chairperson?
Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I want Comrade Manenze must check on the spelling of kas. I don't know, do I have Chinese eyes, but I think the spelling was incorrect. It's kas. Koegas.
Okay. Apologies. I will check it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Not
you,
is
Honorable Member.
Chair, I've raised my hand.
Can we move on to the item? Hello? Yes, Honorable Member.
Chair, thank you very much. I just wanted to find out, I know we already adopted the report and I was not there, so I'm not going to waste your time with that. But I wanted to find out, there's no other issues like we discussed that will be the implementation that within a month the department must do this. And like we said that we need to try and have the timelines of the things that we say has to happen from the department so that we just don't do the tick box exercises as we do the oversight. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, we did resolve at some stage that, but that was in respect of our report of the, was it Limpopo? I'm not sure.
it was Limpopo.
Where we actually suggested that there should be action points with timeframes, which we expect the department to have to actually action within specified, time frame. I'm not sure whether that can still be done in respect of the Northern Cape oversight visit report. If there are any issues that we can identify as issues of that can fall under our under the action point, which need to be actioned immediately or within a specified period of time by the department.
Okay.
So, Chair, through.
Yes.
Yes. So our idea was that the issues would be covered. Normally in this report, we will have a line that says within 3 months after the adoption of this report, the minister must respond. But we'll take that suggestion and add a table at the end as an annexure. But what that table does, and in this case in the Northern Cape, the issues were mainly around the CPAs, the banks, the audits, mediation, and administration. So those were the issues that that came up. So we'll put a table and we will circulate it so that members will have an idea of what is it that was included. For the report on Limpopo, which is already ATC'd, if members check, they will also you will also find that the table that was added, which is very clear in terms of CPAs and action points and the timeframes by which the issues must have been resolved or addressed or some kind of intervention. So we will do the same here. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. That takes care of Honorable Maseko's intervention. Thank you. Can we please move on to the second item, the consideration and adoption of our minutes of the previous meetings? And I will invite Lwazi to actually lead that particular item.
Good morning, Chair.
Yes.
Minutes are flighted, Chairperson. They were circulated to members via email and on WhatsApp. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, these are the minutes of the meeting which was held on the 4th of March. Honorable members, can we go through the attendance? Is there anyone who feels that he or she was omitted on the list of attendance? Okay, apologies. Or rather, is there any corrections that honorable members would like to make on the minutes? Okay, can I invite, proposals for the adoption of the minutes?
Lindy Nana is moving for the adoption, Chairman.
Honorable Nana is moving for the adoption. Is there any seconder?
Dalane second.
Honorable Ndalane actually seconds. The minutes have actually been adopted. Is there any other set of minutes that we need to look at?
No, Chairperson.
Oh,
no,
okay. No, thank you, honorable members. That actually brings us to the end of our meeting. Or even before the end of our meetings, I would invite Lwazi to actually give us a brief, feedback on the proposed Western Cape oversight visit.
Good morning, Chair, honorable members. Chairperson, from our side, we are ready, Chair. We are ready. Members, there's a house sitting tomorrow, so we will all depart from Parliament. We requested that members must bring their luggage to Parliament. Chairperson, then we will drive from Parliament to Glen Williams. We will be based in Glen Williams, Chairperson. Then our oversight will start on Friday. We'll have a briefing on Friday morning by the department. And then we'll have site visits, Chairperson, and engagement with various stakeholders, Chairperson. I think that's all, Chairperson. I think Cynthia might add on the logistical part, but we are ready, Chairperson. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Cynthia. Is there anything to add?
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, members. Good afternoon, Chair. No, Chair, there's nothing to add. Lwazi has said it all. We request members to please bring their luggages to Parliament tomorrow. It's only for two days. I should think it won't be that big bag or luggage to bring. So please, the only arrangement that is made is for the transport to pick up members and staff from Parliament and we moved from Parliament to Clan Williams. We couldn't secure accommodation in Citrusdal because they didn't have accommodation that was able to carry all of us at the same time. They didn't have capacity, so we had to opt for Clan Williams. And so we're sleeping in Clan Williams on Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday we will be sleeping in Worcester because also we couldn't get accommodation in Ceres. There's only small BNBs, and they also have no capacity of carrying a whole delegation. So we'll be sleeping in Ceres, which is not that far. I mean, in Worcester, which is not that far from Ceres. So that after working around Ceres, we go sleep in Worcester, and then on Sunday, after work in the morning, and we drive back to Cape Town. Thanks, members. Thanks, Chair.
Okay, thank you.
How's the weather there?
We have
hot?
we have a heat wave in Western Cape, so
It's extremely hot, yes. Thanks, ma'am.
then William, you might be on the temperature of between 39 and 45.
Wow.
Yeah, it's it's very hot in Cape Town these days. So we really need to provide ourselves with, light clothing, white color in particular, so that we are able to be comfortable with the kind of heat
And
that is in the house.
And sunscreen, Chair. Don't forget the sunscreen.
The sunscreen and some hats, to shield ourselves from the sun. Do males also apply sunscreen, or is it for ladies?
Yes, Chair.
For everybody.
To avoid the skin cancer, Chairperson. And
Okay.
Unisex. Sunscreen is unisex.
so citrus
unisex.
like a goatee. I come from there. You are surrounded by the mountains, which are Rocky Mountains. So you are going to feel like you are tea in a cup. So make sure you've got bottles of water so that to cool yourself. It's really extremely hot.
Yeah.
Chair,
Well,
I think this oversight becoming very expensive now. But by the way, Chair, can we ask Cynthia to arrange with the drivers of the shuttles for us for ice water? We
Yeah.
know that we can buy refreshments, but
Yeah, they will need to provide sufficient water for us. Well, I hope that Cynthia will be able to look after that, to ensure that there is sufficient water in the vehicles in which we will be traveling. Honorable members, thank you for your time. The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chair.
Chairperson. Thank you.
Thanks, Chairperson. And can
Thank
my
you,
spelling please
Chairperson.
be corrected, Zwaki?
Thank you.
thank
Is
you, Chair
Honorable
and
Mkhakha,
members.
I didn't hear Honorable Mkhakha's apology. Is there any problem with it?
He was attended, so I don't know why is he so silent. Maybe maybe
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Chief? Chief?
Hi, Loiza.
Is Tembi and Cynthia still here?
Yes, Ben.
2 minutes.